So I think we'll go ahead and get started. It might be a light morning today, this being the last day before the holiday weekend. So first, let me say thank you for taking the time to join us today. Today's discussion is going to be concerning Smap3D. This is an integrated piping tool within SolidWorks third-party application, but I also have a few things at the very end to just discuss a bit of tech talk. Been a lot of tech alerts come out recently, so I just want to kind of review a few of them very quickly. So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and get started. So today, first let me introduce myself. My name is Jeremy Colvin, application engineer with Progression Technologies. Today's CAD chat, as I said, is going to be concerning Smap3D integrated piping solution in SolidWorks software. First, if you have any questions, there are the panel. There is a questions box in which you can enter a question and post it, and I'll try and answer some questions later on. You can collapse that panel down by using the orange arrow. Get that out of the way and see more of the screen. Okay, so real quick, if you have any questions, once again, use that panel there you see on the right side. Okay. So first, I want to point out Smap3D is a third-party application that is integrated and as a plugin, but it also has a few standalone applications too. In particular, one of the solutions that is very intriguing for folks who are looking for it is the PNID capabilities. It's essentially a separate application where you can sketch, if you will, or design 2D drawings, but these drawings give you intelligent symbols and intelligent sketch geometry, pipes, and so on, where it's all driven by an integrated database. And this can be very beneficial in building bills of materials and items and so on and so forth. So it can be very, very beneficial just to have that package alone. And in some cases, we have customers who are just interested in gathering and building PNID documentation. So I'll point out the products and how it's packaged in a little bit. There's another package also included in there, Smap3D Piping. This is primarily the plugin within SolidWorks. Now this is a product you can buy standalone if you wish, but it also has the availability to connect and use the Smap PNID drawing data. So all of the components, all of the integration, if you will, the piping and so forth that was designed within the PNID drawings can be then accessed and used in the piping solution, that where the CAD user, the developer designer, would then go ahead and develop the 3D modeling involved. And finally, the final product that's very, very interesting, and also why many people choose the Smap3D product, is for the ISOGen drawings. ISOGen drawings are kind of unique. Some particularly large plant designs or large piping designs require there be isometric drawings, ISOGen drawings. Okay, and this is a solution that Smap3D does provide. The PNID package, as I mentioned, is primarily the 2D solution where it is giving you the availability of large library data set where you can drag and drop symbols, locate them, position them, and then essentially sketch the piping that's involved between the different components and integrated solutions. So they are intelligent and powerful standalone PNID package. As I said before, you can purchase that as a standalone application if you wish, all by itself. It is backed up by a database backend. Typically, the default solution does use the standard Access database, but you can integrate it with SQL if you wish. Large standard symbol library is included. You can, of course, create and generate your own symbol libraries if required. It does nice checks as well, indicating where there's issues for connectivity and so on. And as I said, one of the benefits you have is with a lot of reporting, be it bills of materials, component lists, and the like. So really nice package all by itself. There's also the PNID that goes along here. No more wrong components to the building site. You can see here where you can see the component has identifiers and labels and so forth that go along with the component itself. What component is being purchased, for instance, what vendor it's being purchased from and the like. All this information is great, and it's integrated with the CAD platform as well. Once again, database driven, reports, list, prompt, also punctual ordering before the CAD planning's going into place. You can also have all of that completed for you just using the PNID package. The piping solution, this is primarily, as I said before, within the 3D modeling within SolidWorks, and it uses these quote-unquote template parts. They have a standard parts library that goes along with the components from P&ID and the like. And you can see here where you can just basically involve mating them, integrating them into a 3D design. For the most part, it's a drag and drop solution, but it does require quite a bit of 3D sketching as well to define and design the piping itself. And then you drop in your components, your elbows, your connections, and so on. So it's a really nice, quick, and simple solution. It's very similar to, in many respects, to the SolidWorks routing package. Just doesn't have quite as integrated, SolidWorks routing that is, doesn't quite have the integrated P&ID capabilities to go along with the P&ID package of Smap. So there's really nice benefits there. Again, direct usage P&ID definitions from the P&ID package within Smap. The add-in in SolidWorks gives you that ability to see the to-do list function. And to-do list basically indicates what components have and have not yet been integrated within the 3D design. You have the automation capabilities to choose from different classes of piping and products. You can use the piping library as it is to go ahead and drag and drop, as I mentioned before, the components. And then you would sketch and design the 3D piping itself between those components. It also has the ability to quickly add weld gaps, any kind of insulation requirements and things like that. A lot of that driven, once again, via the P&ID drawings that are developed first. There is a capability to support non-round, or if you not necessarily piping solutions, you have the ability to do cable trays or ductwork and so on. So you have that additional capability if that's something you're really looking for. You're not quite a piping solution, but you might be doing some indoor environmental stuff. That's a great solution there too. And of course, you have the ability to do standard drawings. I don't want to give you the wrong impression. You can do standard drawings within SolidWorks, the integrated bills of materials within those drawings, and so on. Much of that data that would be showing up in your bills of materials already included in those components within the Smap product itself. Again, driven by the database backend. Okay. So much like we talk about when we talk about SolidWorks routing, the Smap piping package gives you the ability to very quickly create your designs in 3D. It's they say a very comfortable cost solution. So it's not that expensive when you compare it to perhaps the SolidWorks routing and getting that added, because the SolidWorks routing package is part of the SolidWorks premium solution. So this kind of doesn't require you to go to that step. You can go ahead and get SolidWorks and then get Smap3D, where you get also the piping capabilities there. In piping within Smap, you're working with piping classes. This gives you the ability to process and find that data very, very quickly, whereas with the piping products from SolidWorks, generally driven by configurations and the like, and it might not be as easy a solution to find what you're looking for and work with them more simply. Excuse me. So the ISOGen drawing. Once again, the isometrics capability is a solution that maybe not everyone needs, but when you need it, it's one of those that's difficult to find, and Smap3D does provide that. It is a great way to generate these drawings, identified by symbols primarily. Again, it's something that if it's a long process, very large design, the ISOGen drawing makes it very simple, very quick and easy to generate with the symbols calling out the components, connections, and the like. Automatic 2D isometric creation with the assumption of attributes, of course, that are generated from those components, again, from the ISOGen drawings from SolidWorks and so on. You can generate this drawing very quickly and then save it as a separate product for DXFs, DWGs, PDFs, and so on. So multiple formats are supported. So with the Smap3D plant design, I just want to point out again, when you deal with the libraries that are available, there's information that's provided out of the box, and you can control that and develop that and build on that if you like. But it does come with a pretty large, extensive pipe specification database and library to bring symbols, components, and just the simple metadata that's involved with all of this specification data that you're going to work with, standards. Then you're going to work with that, of course, in the P&ID package, dropping the symbols and identifying the pipe connections and so on. Bring it into the 3D with the 3D pipes and components themselves. Again, all of this still tied back to the pipe specs from that library that comes with Smap3D. This is just more of a complicated overview, if you will. There is an integration that can work with PDM, if you will, with data management systems and so on. But generally speaking, you start out with your P&ID package, which again, you can just work on the planning aspect of things and developing that schematic layout. And you can stop there if that's all you required. But as we've been discussing, there is an integration with the plugin within SolidWorks and that to-do list to then start building the 3D models involved with that P&ID data. The piping and Smap piping information is developed over here in the SolidWorks. They mention here SolidWorks Composer. That is something you could use to, if you will, develop documentation, images, videos, things like that if you wish, but that's not part of Smap3D, of course. Isometric drawings, again, Smap ISO is the product there, and that's a third integration if you need it. That's another product that can generate the drawings there for the ISOGen drawings. This is a pretty complicated little screen, but I just want to point out a few things when you talk about 3D CAD and 3D piping. There are many different things when you're talking about the requirements and some effects that can come about that, time-consuming, generating drawings. Excuse me for a second. Apologize for that. Time-consuming to search for those items and libraries and so on, or just having to spend the time to find what you're looking for and so on. And as we get into the management so on, it just goes to the fact of costly. You can see again dealing with multiple parts, multiple vendors, things of that nature. List of the drawings models are not in the same level, of course. So it's a really great way to get things organized. And when you get all the way up to management, hopefully you definitely see that nice return on investment. For the solutions and benefits screen, I just want to point out a few things, just kind of answer some of those points on the previous slide when you talk about the cause and effect and how we can benefit from bringing in something like Smap3D. Automatic pipe generation, of course, when we're talking about the developers and designers. Automatic placement that snap and fit right into position with smart mates and so on. Automatic update of existing pipelines. If you make a change, it's pretty much going to be global. So a lot of these benefits you're going to generate from the productivity side of thing. When you get into the purchasing and process engineering, of course, it goes to point out a lot of those standard libraries and start when we're talking about ordering and having to work with the components over there in purchasing. When you're talking about process engineers, the reports that can be generated from SMAP, all of the drawings that can be generated to include the ISOGen, make the productivity on the manufacturing side, fabrication and infrastructure side a lot better and more productive. And of course, again, management, using up-to-date information is a big part of that, having not to deal with going back and revising, reviewing, and having constant meetings. You can see a lot of benefit there in just the time aspect of things. The product combinations, just to kind of get that point across real quick. When you're looking at the products itself, I've been mentioning here for the past several slides that with Smap3D, there are essentially three different main packages, if you will: the P&ID package, the piping package, and the isometric package or ISOGen drawing package. So you have those three main solutions. Now you can package these up or just buy them individually, and just give you an idea of what it looks like. You can see the stair step down below here. Buying individually a Smap P&ID, buying individually a Smap piping, or you can combine these two, P&ID and piping. That's very common, where the piping is first developed in the 2D P&ID package. Put that all together, and then when you need to and you're ready, you can go ahead and open up SolidWorks and work with the plugin to develop the 3D piping. Finally, the main package, the big package, if you will, might be the Smap Piping ISO. There you would need a piping and isometric, so that is a package deal there, not individually packaged at all. And the biggest one, the largest one, of course, is all three of them put together, where you have the P&ID, then you have the piping and isometric on the 3D side to generate the drawings for that. So those are the packages, and it's important to just kind of understand what your needs might be. And if you need to, you can always kind of work your way up step by step. But generally speaking, perhaps the one package that might be most common is the P&ID and piping package. Just one of those things that people develop in individual corporate needs and assess what they might be working with now or in the future. They kind of buy that solution to begin with. So, okay, as we start to wrap things up, again, just want to keep this short as we begin our way into the holiday weekend, holiday week, I should say. There have been a lot of tech alerts come out recently. I wanted to bring back one that was released some time ago, but we're still seeing a lot of tech support issues. So I wanted to mention this in a video real quick. The Microsoft updates. These are updates that are developed and and distributed by Microsoft. These are the Tuesday updates that you might get automatically without even realizing your system might be updating itself. So it's important to keep that in mind. And what we've seen is this knowledge base update after it's installed has been causing a lot of issues with the installation of SOLIDWORKS or the upgrade of SOLIDWORKS. Some of the system symptoms you'll see after the installation is upgraded. SOLIDWORKS add-ins are missing. When you go to the Tools add-in window, you don't see many of the add-ins that you saw before. When launching SOLIDWORKS or opening a file, sometimes you'll get error messages, could not load the SOLIDWORKS DLL, and this is analysis support DLL. So if you get some of these error messages as you start working in SOLIDWORKS, also seen where you can't create any equations, that fails as well. So if you see some of these symptoms, it definitely might be related to this knowledge base, and there's some workarounds or some solutions that we can help you with. So if some of that is sounding familiar or you see that come up in the future, definitely give tech support a call. You can email support@progressiontech.com or use extension 2, and you'll see that in just a bit. Another one, somewhat more recent. They sent out an announcement about another Microsoft update, this one being 30.97.877. The solution, if you're looking in the SOLIDWORKS knowledge base, is 070223. This update was posted for approximately 30 minutes, this update of knowledge base update here from Microsoft. They posted it online for about 30 minutes, or 30 hours, I'm sorry. But then they realized the issues that were contained in it, pulled it down, and put another update of it up on the site again so it can be downloaded by users out there. So the problem we might see is some users actually got that while it was available. And so what you'll see, SOLIDWORKS might fail to launch after this knowledge base update has been applied. So if you're having those kind of issues at all, again, maybe if you have, you've already contacted support, but please give us a call. I just posted the answer here real quick that SOLIDWORKS support's provided. Basically, uninstall the original knowledge base update, download the newer version, of course, from Microsoft, and go ahead and install the new version of the update. But the problem is you'll have to uninstall that yourself, going through the updates, programs, and features within your control panel to do that. And if you have any questions at all, it can be a quick little solution to get online with you. Just give us a call. We can get online with you with GoToAssist and get that fixed pretty quickly. Okay. Finally, one last one, stability problems. If you happen to be working within SOLIDWORKS 2015, Service Pack 4, there have been some stability problems noticed, and symptoms you might see there might be experiencing delays when you're saving a file. Maybe SOLIDWORKS will hang when clicking in the graphics area after you zoom or rotate the model, or shutting down after adding a configuration with the part assembly and so on. So if you're seeing anything similar to this, there's again a hot fix actually that SOLIDWORKS has provided. This connected to that solution right there from the knowledge base, 070117. This is something we can assist you with as well. So if you're experiencing things like this, again, give us a call at our support line or email at support@progressiontech.com. Be happy to try and get online with you and troubleshoot it first to make sure it might be related. And if so, we can help you to apply the hot fix. This is a little more elaborate, so I didn't really want to post anything other than that on the webinar today. So hopefully a lot of good information today on our CAD chat. Just a quick orientation and introduction to Smap3D. And I wanted to be sure and get the word out about some of these recent tech alerts. And if you have any questions about the tech alerts, you might join the groups, the discussion groups, just to get alerted and get more information about what people might be finding and dealing with up there. If you have any questions, again, you can email support@progressiontech.com. You can call our toll-free number, extension 2. Should get you to the support line. Also, just keep in mind, if you have any needs for sales department, you can email sales@progressiontech.com. Extension 1 is the extension if you call our toll-free number. And if you want a demo or anything, just give us a holler. We'll be happy to try and assist. And finally, some upcoming events. So plastics and cast product part designs is the next little CAD chat we'll have December 4th. Creating and reusing sketches in SOLIDWORKS, another discussion we'll have on December 11th. So please join us, keep those in mind, maybe put those in your calendar. I know it's getting to be a lot of the holiday season, lots of vacations and shopping times and things like that. But feel free to keep us in mind and join us on our Friday CAD chats. And I don't see any questions come up over in the questions panel. So I think what I'll do is go back to the original start slide just to give you the Happy Thanksgiving once again. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. And I please want you to be safe travels and so forth this holiday season with everything that we've been seeing in the news. I really, really want everybody to be very, very careful, be alert, and hopefully have a happy time with your families. Thanks again for joining us this Friday on our CAD Chat. I hope you have a great weekend and a very safe, happy holiday season.